Good evening. This is Joe, PCG Consulting. Hey, Sarah. Thank you for sending a report. Just wanted you to see what I was looking at. I got your report here. So, good news is if I take 274 and 68 and add those two together, this is your phone pops and leads for just North Lake. If I take that count and I divide it by my days so far in the month and then multiply it out by the days remaining, you're actually pacing higher with calls and leads than we've been in a couple of months, maybe. So, and that's obvious. It's Christmas time, should be. I see here you've got this right here, this 424 count with both stores. You know, how I look at it, just so you can see, I see your total shows and your total sold, 25 of 67. That gives you 15.8%. And that's cool. But girl, you got to look at your 460s to really see what the job you're pulling. Your 460s, your third 60, really that needs to be about 22% of total leads, right? And then if you look at your sold, you can kind of get an idea. But let's just be pragmatic. I mean, look at it right here, 424. If I did 10% closing, that's 42 units. So we're at 25. If I did 10% closing total lead count at North Lake, that's 34. So see, I've got room, and it's not a negative. The team's doing a great job. Just want you to see that there's an opportunity to do more, and that's the reason why I know Cade brought us in. He's looking for a plan that works, and we've got this in Europe, Canada, mostly United States, South America, Mexico, and man, we got a dealer opening up a dang Chevy store in China, right? But we're in at least 1, 2, 3, 4 countries where we put in our process and it works. Um, so just want you to see what I see. As I look at the team, I see 100 leads here. She's 60% good, 46%. Okay, so I might need some help. There's 4 areas that we talked about was price, trade value, credit app, and of course distance. And those are the areas that they're going to run into that are issues for customers. So are they becoming masterful at answering and satisfying that guest to the moment that at that second that they can convert it to an appointment. So let's see if we can get her some help. But look at her shows, 10 of 28. Obviously 50% would have been 14. So you see what I mean? So she's below even 50%. Between 50 and 60 is your marketplace. I mean, we have the 460s to follow, but as y'all are growing, I would look at, just immediate. But, right here, I would see 100, so I would look for 10 sold. She's got 3. Where can I help her? The 460s also gives you guidance as a manager. Where do I need to be strategic in supporting each individual? Since everybody's different, some are more masterful at other parts than others. Some are better on the phone than others. Some are better on e-leads, writing emails better than others. This is to help guide you in a faster way to manage that group. Let's take a look at Misty here, 90. So she's at 56. See, I don't even knock that. That's good. 50 to 60 in this range is great. She's maintained her 50 percentile. And then look at that. So somehow they like her, but then, the sales are not there. And obviously, we got to take a look at what the floor is doing. And if they're not doing anything different, then let's look at F&I. Are we asking for conditions? I mean, are we just bringing junk in, or what are we doing, right? I don't really want the girls to qualify in this area. The point is to sell the appointment and get people in. If Cade and Bill Hood do a massive advertising campaign, they spent money and they drive everybody to the store, they could either buy or can't. We got to work all of them. That's the same opportunity here. Juliana's sitting at 83 leads. She's got good contact, but super low appointments. So what's happening there? Obviously, her command to be able to convert a conversation from give me your best price, or, I want a number on my trade, or I ain't coming, or, am I approved or not? What are my payments? See, if she can stay out of negotiation, which she proves down here, she's, supposedly strong at calls, right? Looks like it. But if she could stay out of that trouble, she would be okay. So when I go from this high connection to that low of appointments, I have no opportunity to do more than what I did over here, obviously. Appointments are high. If connections are high, the opportunity for appointments exists. If I can get appointments and appointments confirmed and hold my visitations, my shows, then the opportunity for sales exists. You're just bringing more people to the house. So as we look at it by the numbers, I'm looking for 60, 60, 60. Not upset where we are mid-month, okay? But if I were to do pragmatic math, that's 27 units, 10%. 12, 13% is what your 460s will give you. But let's be progressive. Let's see if they can at least pull the 10, right? That's what I'm after. If I'm looking for a high sold to show, I'm really not demonstrating anything, and I'm not real sure where we're coming up with that. That's a good rule of thumb to look at. What I want is a consistent process that's telling me I am grinding through all the leads, good, bad, and ugly, just like we grind through all the ups, good, bad, and ugly. And then I'm converting them to appointments because I've established relationship. Didn't give all my cookies. Didn't send out a buyer's order. Didn't send an offer proposal, because they're just going to take it and shop you to death, and they'll walk into the first place and they're going to say, dude, they're robbing you blind, even if it's a deal they can't even meet. Opportunity is when I can convince this customer I understand where they are in the process and how hard it is for them to even enter a lead, even if it's right, wrong, indifferent, color, no color, right car or not. I'm going to get them to the next level because I can guarantee that I understand the process. And then all these other numbers take care of themselves. So good news is we are knocking on the door here. Now, can we facilitate these two areas? If I am satisfied with a 15.8% of sold to show, you're missing the boat because they're spending the money on this much lead right here. Just like if you were to spend $10,000 a month on a billboard and you got one sale, you're not really, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you got 5 people in and sold one. It sounds great, 1 of 5 or 1 of 3. Sounds like a high percentage, but compared to what we spent to drive it, it's not. So that's where the focus needs to be, okay? You guys are doing a great job. I love the camaraderie. I did have a concern with that last candidate. She has really no experience, but she's got the right attitude. Do you have the time to teach her? And if you're going to teach her, you need to teach her what I'm explaining right here. And then phone ups. Okay, let's take a look at Juliana because she's usually a phone monger. Well, she's 46% with appointments. So there again, she's great at going after the phone, great at connecting with people, it looks like. So isn't that curious that she's 64% contact here and she's only 46% conversion to appointment with someone already on the phone? I don't know, 46 to 28 over here. Look at the comparative. So that's what I want you to see as I'm seeing it. And so the idea is, let's take a look here. I think I'm recording. Okay, so the idea is, okay, so I'm already on the phone with somebody. I just need to convert. So what am I talking about? How much am I talking about? What I like is she established a relationship so much that 75% of the appointments she set that they show. Holy cow. Can I get her to transition some of this talent over to here, right, to the leads? Because you're never really going to give her all the calls and just give them leads, because look at Misty. Misty runs 60, 50. I mean, she's pretty consistent in her area, even though sometimes we think she's the California girl, right? My question is, what's going on with Vicky? Vicky's running 50, but then we drop to 20. Shows, appointments to contacts, shows to appointments, 30 to 20. So probably just need to get a better process and confirmation. If you're overloaded with confirmation of appointments, let's use a service appointment gal, somebody else to help you. Your responsibility would be to secure the appointments today and tomorrow confirmation-wise. If not, delegate that authority. I don't want the girls to do it because it's the same person calling that guest. We want a significant difference impacting the guest that a manager or someone else from the store is calling to confirm the appointments, making it seem like the whole store is on alert because they're coming. You see the heightened importance of that? Okay, so we're looking at it. Doesn't look too bad. I want 60 and 60 and 60 here. Well, this is going to have to do with the floor. Not a knock, just what it is. You guys are responsible for bringing people in. So here's how I would look at my lead count. This is your calls and e-leads for North Lake. 342, and you're pacing for a higher month in total count, so opportunity is in front of us. We've got the mix happening. Is this 60? Okay, well, then I'm at 60. Is this 60? Well, that's 45. So how can I help it? And where are my deficiencies and my successors? Is this 60? I've got some people playing a pretty decent game, but I got two other ones that, well, this one helps, but these two are hurting in these areas a little bit. And then, of course, sold versus showed. There's where we can evaluate later the process of the floor. Many times what we do is we excel the internet or BDC team to a point that it shows that there has to be a change on the floor because we've got the people coming and we're not closing it. Not a bad thing, it's a good thing. If we're just talking about takedown. If I'm going to convince a dealer to spend $10,000 a month on advertising, by God, I sure hope I got a good process on the floor that I execute working everything to death and getting out what I can as far as a percentage share. 5% is not bad. I was just surprised because you guys, I thought we pulled 11% last month. Maybe I need to go back and look. You're still hurt, with your A meet. Let me blow this up because I'm an old man. I have a hard time seeing. You can see 40, 17. Okay, looks like they're doing a better job of selling it, but the number count is so low that it's almost, it blurs it. 42, 70, better on calls. Who was the successor in that area? Well, it wasn't Vicky, but looks like it was Juliana. So I don't know. You were leaning toward Misty doing the A meet. I don't know. I would test this out for yourself, especially before you load yourself up with people that you got to train from scratch. Okay, 4% there. So we know what we're pulling. 4 plus 5 divide by 2. It's kind of where you are. Not a bad thing. Nothing seems to be horrible. My curiosity here was this report. I know Bill and Kay, this is one of their old ones they like to see. But I'm not measuring it properly if I'm just thinking I'm doing great from this to this, right? This to this. Because the cost factor has to do with this, okay? It really does. We spent the money for all good, bad, and ugly, and I'm rating myself based on a show to sold, and you guys have nothing to do with the selling of the vehicle, only the reception of the guest, or the ultimate of getting them there. So the traffic indicator is, connections, appointments, and shows. Those 360s your department's responsible for, and you want to try to make that your plateau. And then if we can secure a 10% closing ratio with the floor's help, then great. If not, well then we'll work that out. Maybe we've got a bad rash of guests that are tanked in their trade. Obviously, credit, there's a lot of issues that we could do. So let's work on a game plan to where we unite the front, the floor, and the BDC's efforts, because now we got it cooking, and what can we do to knock it down? How do I set up that trade that's completely buried, and how do I set up that credit that's completely bad, and still process it without killing the ratio of what we're doing? It's a great question. That's a great new problem that we've yet to arrive to, and I don't think it was even on the radar with Tabitha. Okay, I'm at a group right now that's Chevrolet, and they are just now running into that problem. They're executing superbly right now with the team that's handling leads and calls, but now they're running into a problem with their floor process because they're kind of fumbling the football. And that's okay, because the way they've always done it's the way they've always done it, but they've never had this new influence. And that's going to be you, girl. Love what you do. I love what you're about. What I would do is I would consider my team at this point, talk to Cade, talk to Mark. Vicky seems to do the job, but then these two columns made me think different. Misty, I'll be honest with you, is more well-rounded with numbers than you were probably thinking. And then Juliana, if I can just get that girl to be consistent, because this is high, and there's low. So what's my problem? How's she asking for an appointment, or is she doing a lot of negotiation or a lot of proposals or a lot of getting you the best number that I can go get, and she stalls the process when she should be selling the appointment? Okay, not a bad. Everything looks great. I'm hoping to see that 11, 12%. You guys closed like 11 last month. As long as that report's right. Now that I see this, I'm going to go back and look. But this is how I look at these to help support you, help support your team members, like at the 3 Chevy store family-owned group I'm at now. This week, I have an opportunity to go and intervene and help people in different spots because some are greater at some things than others, and then some we get stuck in a rut, and some find something that's working phenomenally that we need to share with everybody. See what I mean? Anyway, appreciate you, love you. We'll see you guys after Christmas and New Year's. So Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I look forward to the next report. Thanks so much.